What's going on, guys? PlayBox here. We're back for another Dragon Ball Legends video. In this one, we are going to be reviewing Gamepress's updated tier list on the top fighters in Dragon Ball Legends, and this one is updated with all the new 3rd anniversary units, including Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Corrupted Zamasu, Vegeta Blue Kefla, and 2 Shadow Dragons. The EXs, of course, are not in this tier list, and I believe they include also a couple of the free-to-play Gokus in here, so I'll be interested to see where those units are. I already know the placements for the anniversary units. I forgot to check the Goku units, but you know what? We're just gonna hop in straight for it. I mean, it's been 2 weeks since, I think, like almost 2 weeks since the anniversary started, so we have a pretty good idea of how these units fare in the meta. So without further ado, let's hop in straight into the list. So starting off in Z tier, the absolute best units, it is of course the same as before, so I'm pretty sure none of you are surprised by this. I mean, these 3 units are clear and cut the top units in the meta: LF Gohan, Android 18, and Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I still consider 18 to be better than Gohan, even Super Saiyan 3 at this point. It's just that Gohan, his best, most optimal setup is hybrids, and that team is not usually ran that much. Where you would mainly see him is on Sun Family, and that is not an optimal setup for him because a lot of the units don't even buff Sun Family. So I guess it's really up to you whether you think 18 or Gohan is the best unit. I think it's 18, but a lot of people think he is. As a last man, he's for sure the best unit. So let's keep scrolling. They did bump up God Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Goku up because, of course, their team got significant buffs. God Goku, Super Saiyan Blue Goku, I mean, has been like one of the best units I find, and he was lower on the tier list because Godki didn't have a red unit, but with the introduction of Zamasu, he's pretty damn crazy. So let's keep going. So yeah, so one thing they did start doing is include the LF units as 6 stars and 3 stars, so both their placements will be on this list. So the best LF unit at 6 stars in the game currently is Kid Buu. So it's pretty, Kid Buu is an extremely good unit. It's pretty weird that the anniversary LFs, Zamasu and Gogeta, aren't simply outright better than the previous LFs. That's what they should have done in the for an anniversary unit. These units don't feel like an anniversary unit. When you compare them to previous units like Vegeta Blue, Super Vegeta, they completely revamped the meta and they were dominating the whole meta. That's what an anniversary unit is supposed to be. Granted, not everyone can pull the units, so it'll be kind of like a Vegeta Blue meta where if you don't have them, you're gonna struggle in PvP. But it also kind of decentivizes players to pull the new units because they're just going to get stomped by a lot of these top tier units. So let's keep moving on. So here's our first anniversary unit, Zamasu. So yeah, Zamasu 6 stars. They place him like mid S tier. I think this is a good placement for him. Around the range of like LF Piccolo. LF Piccolo is very good. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. This is a good placement for him. One thing I want to quickly brush up on is Super 17. Now, Super 17, as you can see, he's higher than let's just scroll to Gogeta, and there's Gogeta right behind yellow Super Saiyan Future Gohan. So yeah, Future Gohan is also an amazing LF unit, so right next to him, that's a pretty good placement for him. So yeah, Super 17. So one of the description they gave for Gogeta, if we click on the description right here, is that they say that one of his main problems is his main teams, Saiyans and GT. Of course, he's a mainstay on Fusion, but Saiyans and GT, he's definitely not replacing Goku. But Super 17, I feel like he could replace him. Like, he does have the advantage of having Zenkai stats, of course, but I feel like at 6 stars, he tanks extremely well, and he does way more in his kit. He has cover nullification, he has element unfavorable, he completely negates unfavorable elements. I feel like Super 17 doesn't offer as much compared to Gogeta, and they're both really good tank units. So I feel like Gogeta, in my opinion, should be ranked higher than 17, but that doesn't mean he should be ranked higher than all of these units. I simply think that Super 17 should drop lower in the list, like somewhere around the range of where Gogeta is, and then Gogeta being bumped up a bit higher because he would be the main on Fusions and GT. But that's just my opinion. LF Piccolo, I think, has finally surpassed Demon King Piccolo, which is really good because he was very underrated. So yeah, let's keep going. Vados is finally in S tier, which is really good to see because she is such an annoying unit and she's very, very heavily used in the top metas because now Gotchi has a full color wheel and she's gonna start wrecking havoc. The best addition to this tier list, I think, is Gogeta finally giving the love that he deserves. So Gogeta at S6 stars is S tier, so that is awesome to see, because when he first released, he was heavily ridiculed for being underwhelming LF, and because also most people only had him at 3 stars. But Gogeta is one of those units that as you get more stars on him, his damage scales much higher than other units, so him being an S tier is really nice to see. And then we got Vegeta Blue, who is also an S tier. I feel like Vegeta Blue should be higher up on this list. I think he should be he should be above Demon King Piccolo. I think Demon King Piccolo is a phenomenal unit, but I think Vegeta is just a bit better. So that's one thing. And then Goku Black at the end of S tier. So he was, prior to this update, the best non-Zenkai unit. So now he's been surpassed by multiple different units. So let's keep going. UI Goku 6 stars at tier 1. So in my opinion, of course, I believe the UI Goku should be like somewhere here for sure. Like he should be on par with these LF units, because the reason he's ranked so low is because he's the most skill dependent unit in the game. Like if you're not able to efficiently use his unique gauge, he's a complete liability to have because his defenses are so low. But if you can utilize his unique gauge very well, he's extremely annoying to face. He has the ability to stall until your teammates are able to switch in, and that unique gauge, if you're able to use it, is very powerful. So then we got the 2 other LFs at 3 stars, which are pretty close to on the top of tier 1, which is pretty much their previous ranking. Broly has 6 star. Broly has fallen off quite a bit. I feel like he was overrated when he first dropped. Well, not overrated. He was doing some pretty good damage, but without Bardock, his damage is very lackluster. So him being this, he should honestly, I would say, put him a bit lower than what he is placed right now. But this place is not bad. Zenkai Gohan, this Zenkai Gohan is an extremely good tank, so him being here is really good. And then the 2 other LFs, mid tier 1, more like top tier 1. Yeah, top of tier 1 is good. At 3 stars, Cell has finally dropped. Oh, Topo is all the way here. I think Topo deserves to be a bit higher, because Topo is very good. But I guess it's because his team is not like very competitive in the top rankings of PvP. But Topo is an extremely good unit. Sparking Vegeta, I feel like this Vegeta also should be higher up. He should definitely be in S tier. His supporting is on par with Vado's. Granted, it's a bit of a downgraded version, but his support makes Saiyans what they are right now, like the best team in the game. So I think he should definitely be a bit higher than that. Vegito 6 stars, that's good for me. Nova Shenron. So I don't really have that much experience using the Dragons. I've only used them a couple times, but from general consensus is that they're fairly decent. They're good, just not as good as the other units. So them being this low is not surprising at all. Kefla. So Kefla is an interesting one because I feel like Kefla is heavily underrated. Her damage is extremely high. She does a lot of damage, but the downside is she tanks very poorly. And also her special little ability that lets you get a 60% vanishing gauge whenever they evade is pretty hard to get the hang of, and is hard to use. So she's one of those units that also is rated because of her skill dependency. So if you're very good at utilizing her, she'd definitely be above, like she'd be definitely up in these rankings. But since she's slightly skill dependent, she's a bit lower. And also she doesn't completely outright replace Bergamo, because Bergamo has a really good role on Rival Universe, being a very good tank and having his health Z ability, so that keeps him on the core there. But I would personally run Kefla over Bergamo because I just like the unit. She just works so well. Then we keep going. LF Super Saiyan Goku Black at 6 stars up here. I mean, at this point I would say Vegeta Blue kicks him off of Future, and his only team would probably be Powerful Opponent, where he's the mainstay on a Strike version, because Blast version would be Demon King Piccolo. And then we come to Shenron, who is regarded as the worst of the anniversary units. Yeah, like I said, I don't have much experience with these units, but general consensus is that they are on their lower end. So if you keep going, 3-star UI Goku has fallen a bit. He used to be above in tier 1, so he's fallen a bit. I still think UI Goku should be S tier, but whatever. If we keep going, yep, Vegeta, the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta has fallen down because Vegeta completely replaces him there. If we keep going, and 6-star LF Goku has literally no explanation, which is pretty funny, but he's been replaced by Nova Shenron literally 1 month after his release. So it's quite unfortunate what they did to him, but it is what it is. 6-star Majin Vegeta right there. Even a 6-star Majin Vegeta is better than LF Goku. They did him dirty here. Let's see, can we find any of the... Oh, they actually included EX Super 17 here, which is pretty cool, and EX Gotenks. Does that mean they have the other EX units here? Let me see, because I think I missed them if they did. I think the Goku Black and... Oh, I guess they didn't include Goku Black in here. I guess Goku Black is worse? I don't know, I thought Goku Black was... the EX Goku Black was good, so... That's interesting to see. Did we miss... Oh, okay, so these two Gokus, the free-to-play... are in tier 2, I believe. Yeah, or is this tier 2? Yeah, tier 2. Yeah, the free-to-play Goku, the biggest problem with them is that they buff Saga Z abilities, and those teams are very, very bad. The only relevant one is the Boost Saga one, but the units they drop for the Boost Saga are trash. Super Saiyan 3 is pretty garbage. Super Saiyan 2 is, I would consider, a really, really good tank, but his damage is very, very lackluster, so he does almost non-existent damage, but he's a good tank. So that's why they're ranked here, and that is pretty much it for the updates. I mean, I don't know what this is, but that's fine. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the updates. So real quick recap: no changes to Z tier whatsoever. S tier has been revamped completely, with Super Saiyan Blue leading the front as the 4th best unit in the game. Super Saiyan 4 has risen and has increased in rank also. Kid Buu is mid S tier now. Zamasu is also mid S tier. Gogeta is slightly below Zamasu, and then LF Gohan 6-star is slightly above Gogeta. And then Vados increased. Gogeta, my boy, has increased to S tier all the way from tier 2, so that is awesome. Purple Vegeta bottom of S tier, and then the other units are all mid tier 1. So that's pretty much the update for the 3rd anniversary units. Again, like I said, I really wish that these new LFs were at least on par with Kid Buu or better. Their minimum should have been Kid Buu level, and then anything above that is what they should have been. So they should have realistically been in this ranking, maybe even closing in on the Z tier units, but unfortunately we didn't get that. It's gonna be a while before we see any changes in Z tier. I hope, I think, and I'm praying that Super Vegeta will be the one to finally dethrone Gohan and join the ranks in Z tier and become the best unit. But we'll just have to wait and see if they're ever going to Zenkai him throughout this anniversary. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe, because that shit is so important, so don't forget. Other than that, have a great day. See ya.